And at the end of the time, a ballot was put to all the tenants and the leaseholders asking whether we wanted to set up a tenant management co-op. And that was put into the feasibility study then. We had a response of over 70% of those voting in favor. Actually, 79% of those voted in favor of setting up a tenant management co-op. The advantage to us of being a co-op is actually being responsible for the maintenance and the management of the properties. For example, there's a woman that I ran into at the doctor's surgery yesterday who said, "Oh goodness," she said, my gas heater is really giving me trouble, it's blowing out. I said, "Well, don't you get it serviced each year?" She said, "No." She didn't realize that it was meant to be serviced every year. And so I rang St. Pancras today and arranged for servicing. Once we begin managing our own properties, it's the sort of thing we'll be on top of regularly rather than waiting for accidents to happen. We won't be doing the rent setting, though they'll still be doing that, but we'll be collecting the rents and chasing up the arrears, and we'll be responsible then for the maintenance. We'll get a budget and have to work within that budget.
In some areas, a formal agreement between the landlord and the tenants is set up so that the two can work in partnership. Keith Ellis is the manager of the William Sutton Trust Estate in Leeds.
The Estate Management Committee comprises members of the Tenants Association, which exists on the estate, a member of the local maintenance staff, myself and the regional manager. And the idea of the Estate Management Committee is to discuss jointly the future of the estate and to make joint decisions as to how we actually want the estate to progress in the future.
Derek Cartwright, a tenant on the estate, explains how the tenants are involved.
Every month we have zone meetings up here with the landlord, Keith Ellis, and he's giving us an update every month of the repair structure. We've also got an update on lettings. We've also started from that a youth club and a disco.
The idea of getting tenants involved in the actual management of the estate obviously has benefits for everybody. We as a housing association discover what the main concerns of the tenants are. They actually live on the estate. By finding out what they actually think about the estate, how they would like to see the estate go in the future, the Trust can better target resources. We can hopefully give the tenants more of what they want, which results in the tenants being happier, which leads to a better, more settled estate rather than people leaving, they're happy to stay here.
There are advantages for tenants when they are given a say. In all the examples we've seen, tenants have put in a lot of their own time and energy, and landlords have provided staff and resources. Efforts are made to listen to all tenants by taking action to encourage those tenants from minority groups to take part. But there is more to it than that. The housing associations will have to adapt so that the management is really listening to tenants' views. These landlords and many others are making a commitment to tenant involvement. Bill Payne, Chief Executive of Yorkshire Metropolitan Housing Association and President of the Chartered Institute of Housing, says of tenant involvement,
"We don't have an absolute formula, and it's not actually very sophisticated. It's based on trusting people and inviting them to join in and asking for their views, not asking them to do things that they've never done before, but saying that let's use the strengths that you've got to add to the strengths we've got, we'll get a better job." We've got responsibilities, we've got degrees of power and control, and we're prepared to share that. And we found it necessary to change not only the way staff work, but the way the existing committee members work. And it's proved very beneficial.
Information, training and advice are available to tenants and landlords. TPAS, the Tenant Participation Advisory Service, provides an independent membership advice service to tenants and housing associations. Other agencies also provide advice. The Housing Corporation's regional offices can provide details. Training is available which helps tenants and staff to develop new skills. Angela Goulding, a tenant on a Birmingham estate, is taking part in a TPAS training programme.
We're having some training sessions soon between a few associations members, which will be great because some of us need a bit of confidence to actually, speak our mind. I mean, it's all right, you know what you want to say, but actually saying it in front of somebody, but the training sessions we're having soon, and they should be good. I'm really looking forward to them.
New skills, new attitudes, better housing and livelier communities are all resulting from tenants obtaining a greater say in the way their housing is run. You too can benefit from participating in your housing and have your say in what is happening to your homes. If you want to get involved, get in touch with other tenants locally. Talk to the housing manager at the Housing Association about your interest. Invite a few tenants to a planning meeting. TPAS and the Housing Corporation have leaflets for tenants explaining more about tenant participation. Contact them or other local agencies for help and advice.
We're very independent here in Covent Garden, and there's always been a feeling, once we had set up as a tenants association, that we could do a better job ourselves. And it's also a matter of looking after ourselves, being independent.
I mean, they're only just ordinary people like ourselves. I mean, they might have had an higher education than us, but they don't know what's best for the tenants. It's tenants themselves what know what they want.
It's a snowball of events, and it's really good. So for anybody that's out there that's got time on their hands, this is certainly the type of thing to get involved in. You meet people and you learn a lot.